I've always been so hesitant when clicking start recording because one of the podcasts I hit start streaming instead.
I did the. I've done the same thing.
It was a time. I mean, it made for good content, I guess.
How long were you live for? Were you just like doing it for some time, and people hopped in? You're like, oh crap.
I streamed the whole entire thing, and but the thing is, I didn't realize it until I saw in my activity feed that someone followed or something like that, and I was like, hold on. That's not right. I got a, and then I see right below I got a raid. I look at the chat and I'm like, oh no.
I got a raid too. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know if you've ever seen it while you've been into my stream, but if you've seen the whole opening thing where I do the Nintendo Direct type thing,
I
I'm wearing a
don't
suit.
I don't think I've actually been there for like the very beginning of the stream because I think you just stream too early or I just don't pay enough attention when you go
Oh,
live.
okay. No, 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 it's all good. It's like sometimes when people raid in, I like to play this like video, and it's the intro video on my Twitch. I was actually trying to film that, and I was like dressed up in a suit, and I was like standing, and I was like bowing and talking in Japanese to this the camera, right? But I was
Mhm.
streaming that, and people were coming and like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Oh my
So,
God, that's
oh,
awesome. All right,
that was weird.
well, I guess that's a good intro to the podcast. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this interview podcast. I am your host, Sinex Realize, and for anyone who's new to this interview podcast, we take a content creator, uh, bring them on, talk to them about their experience streaming, and learn more about them. And this month we have a Twitch streamer who moved to Japan and has recently been playing a lot of Pokemon and Kaizo, which I think is icky, and has recently been popping into some Mario Maker 2. We have Mr. Waffle Smacker. I can't even. It's so late, man. It's way too late for this. But that's about the best intro you're getting at this time.
Oh, that works. That works. Yeah, what's up? Should I give a quick intro or?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so what's up? My name is WaffleSmacker. I am somehow a Twitch partner. I don't know how I got there, but yeah, like Sten said, I was mainly playing Kaizo Ironmon, the game that everyone knows. You just kind of beat your head against the wall until it finally breaks through and you somehow win the game. And then recently, I've been trying to get more into Mario Maker and eventually Kaizo Mario, not Kaizo Ironmon. And we'll see how that kind of all goes.
Yeah, so also just for anyone who is watching and doesn't really know what Kaizo Pokemon or Kaizo Ironmon is, pretty much it's think of just a super extremely difficult hard mode of Pokemon just completely randomized and whatnot. If you guys want to learn more, just look on YouTube or something. You'll find it.
Yeah,
It-
basically it's Dark Souls mixed with Pokemon, and you only get one Pokemon. If it dies, you start over again, and you cry.
yeah, especially when you get far into it and then yeah, I've seen
Exactly.
it. I saw it happen to a lot of people. I laughed. I was like, damn, that sucks.
I mean, that's what it's there for, right? It's the content.
Yeah, exactly. Like the only Kaizo sort of like experience that I've gotten for myself was when I did like some sort of incentive. I forget what it was for. But I did 100 seeds of Kaizo on Pokemon Black or White. I don't remember which one.
Oh, the difficult
Um,
one. Yeah.
I I heard otherwise. I heard that's not difficult. I
Oh,
heard it.
interesting.
I heard it's one of the easier ones to do.
That's interesting because when I first got into Kaizo, that thing hadn't even been beaten yet for Kaizo Ironmon. And
Yeah,
then, yeah.
yeah, like I have no idea. Anytime that I brought it up, they're like, "Oh, you were playing the easy one." I was like, "I guess I don't know." It was stupid in my
That's
opinion.
that's interesting. I've always heard that it's a constant grind, like you're never safe. Whereas in some other games, you get really, really strong and you're a lot over leveled compared to everything. But that
Mhm.
game, it's a constant grind from what I heard. I don't ever
Yeah,
want to touch it though, but
yeah. I think like the farthest I got there was like pretty much got to the end of Pinwheel Forest, but I was super because like I guess some people were saying that like that they treat it as like a dungeon almost, and
oh,
so then in my head I was doing it like that. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll fight everyone that's here. But then someone clarified it for me, and it was like just until you beat the whatever that evil team is. It's not Galactic, but you know, that one. And I didn't know, so pretty much I would have been safe. I could have went back and healed, and I would have been fine.
And then you didn't touch it ever again.
I just stayed in bed, and that was it. Instead of going back,
how we feel.
Instead of going back to the lab, you just go back to bed
And call it quits.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a smart decision, and not continue to play it for months on end.
Yeah, pretty much. I think by the time this comes out, I'll have already done my like week-long charity stream I'm doing for well, like I'm not going to be completely streaming like the whole time, like whenever I can. Because I'm joining a some medium to large streamer, BB Jess. She's hosting a like a streamer showdown charity event next week.
Oh, nice.
Or I guess it'd be like the week before this episode comes out, and it's pretty much like a Twitch versus Kick thing. You're on Team Kick or Team Twitch. I was almost moved over to Team Kick because they didn't have enough people.
Yeah, I was the same, but I ran into a lot of issues, unfortunately. I was really keen to try it out. They're like, hey, you should make an account and whatnot. I couldn't make an account because the servers were too loaded and I can't access Twitch again. So I kind of gave up after that.
Well, that's unfortunate. I know like when XQC ended up signing his deal with I tried going over there to like follow and whatnot because like I do have an account. I streamed over there like once just to give it a test run.
Yeah.
And like just Kick in general was like broken during that day, but like I think for the most part it's pretty all right. I know like a handful of people that were on Twitch that have moved over there. I'll probably at some point do like a week worth of streams over there. I don't know. I haven't completely figured out what I'm gonna do there, but I mean the subcut is kind of just it's so much better. I'll be honest. I have no morals. I don't care if it's owned by Stake.
I mean, as long as
you just give me my money.
Not funneling people there, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
The only thing, obviously, if you watch my stream, is I like all the interactive crap that I have on my stream, and they don't have that on Kick yet. But if they eventually got some level of feature parity with that, I might give it a shot.
Yeah,
but I feel like I'd lose so much by switching over there right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have the channel points thing. I feel like they don't quite yet.
No.
Yeah, like the only thing that you'd really be able to do is like, I mean, you could hypothetically set up like commands or whatever in the chat, but that just I feel like commands just overload the chat.
Yeah, they do. They overload the chat. I mean, I was also thinking like you could even make your own custom channel point thing, but I don't want to take that on. It sounds like it's way too long, but I thought about it.
Like I know before Twitch had their channel point thing, myself and like a handful of other streamers, like Ben, for example, the bots that we used had like their own like channel point system built into it.
Oh, yeah.
So like pretty much all you do is you just turn that on, and then they can build up points like while they're in the chat or whatever. Keep track of how long they've been watching and all that other stuff.
I do remember those from a long time ago. I've been lurking on Twitch for years and never actually touched the stream button because I was too afraid.
Yeah, I've been doing this shit for way too long. I got a whole lot of nothing to show for it. I've been on the platform I've been streaming on the platform for I think a bit over 6 years now or something like that.
Dang. That's about how long I've been lurking for.
I've been here too long. Most of that time was me losing hours just shiny hunting.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like literally.
At least you have shinies now.
I mean, I have over 100, I guess. It's not enough to make up for all those hours I lost. But yeah, I do kind of want to talk about like how you started streaming, like what actually made you want to start streaming? What was it, just like lurking in channels and you're like, yo, I want to do this? Or
oh man, it was quite a few things that I can't exactly remember, but it's very, very random. There's a few episodes that kind of happened in a short time frame that made me think about this. One was I met this So long story short, I live in Japan. I live in Tokyo. When I first came to Japan, I had a host family. I stayed with the host family, and they continue to have exchange students that live at their place. And every once in a while, I'll go over there and have dinner, and we have a fun time. One of the dudes there, he was saying like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do when you go back to America?" And he's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna try to go into streaming more." And I didn't realize he was a streamer. And from my expectations of what streamers should be, they should be very outgoing, have like an infectious personality. But this person, it seemed like very just normal like me. And he already had like 400 followers at that point, and I was pretty shocked. So then I looked at that, I'm like, huh, interesting, maybe I could do it. And then a few weeks later, I was talking to a colleague. I'm not gonna name his YouTube, but I had just found out that he just reached 2 million followers on YouTube, or subs on YouTube, just making shorts. And I was blown away by that too. And I'm like, okay, maybe I could try this. And from there, I started thinking about like, what could I do? What could I play? What is a very low skill level game that I could play that would be drive lots of reactions and have fun with? And that's how I kind of landed on Ironmon at first. And I don't actually remember the first day where I actually clicked the button, but I know when I first clicked it, I was nervous. I didn't know how to speak, and I didn't even have my camera on. And that was a lonely few weeks.
Yeah, that definitely checks out for someone who like just like starts. Like it's not like a very active chat when you're first starting out. And I'll be honest, a lot of time people don't end up having a webcam at first. I didn't have one for I think like at least a year or something like that.
Oh wow, yeah.
And like a lot of my my like talking, like it was a lot of the time just like super quiet. Like I was just being like really quiet because of where I live. I didn't want to like bother people, and like I was streaming in like the middle of the night, so like I'd be talking almost like ASMR.
Some people like that.
Try reacting to a shiny like that. Okay, it's terrible.
Oh my god, we finally got one. Hell yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, like no BS. That was bar for bar what would happen.
That's so understandable though.
It was so bad. And even at the time I didn't have like any of like my DS capture cards like I do now and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 of them right now. I sold one. So like I would have like my phone camera set up on a coffee cup, but just like cut the insides of it, and then I made like a makeshift like stand for my like DS, and I just filmed it for the stream.
I love it.
It was so scuffed, but like that's what every shiny hunter was doing when they would first start, because getting your hands on a capture card was very difficult.
I can imagine. Because dang, that's crazy. I mean, yeah. It's understandable when you first start, you click the record button, you don't really know what you're getting into. You don't even have sometimes people come into your stream the first day or even the first week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was talking to one of my Japanese streamer friends, and they were like, yeah, you should turn on your camera. Why don't you have a camera on? You need to get your reactions. Turn on your camera. And that finally pushed me to actually implement it.
Yeah. I find like people can be okay without a webcam as long as they're like projecting their voice and putting like emotion into it. I have been told like I probably could get by without a webcam just because like how like my voice is, I guess. But I don't know, I feel like it's just easier to like react to something with visuals, like, oh my god, I can't believe it. You know,
yeah.
You gotta get those thumbnail reactions.
That's so true. Yeah, I really did realize that once you get into Ironmon 2 and you start like losing or you have something happen, they can see the pain on your face or the joy when you finally get over an obstacle, it adds a lot more to the stream.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure I uploaded a short recently about I think I did a short and a video on it for like getting into Master Ball tier for this this new season.
Nice.
And like it was such a clutch last turn that I was like, hold on, I won. I stood up, I walked away, I came back, and I was literally just like this the whole time, just waiting.
Yeah, it's so awesome that you were able to pull it off and get it. Reg D seems intense, but
It's kind of
nice.
weird, especially with all the Pokemon that honestly just haven't seen any competitive usage since Legends Arceus even came out. Because all of the Hisuian forms have never been in a competitive format before Regulation D. Because Arceus had no competitive
That's true.
What's the word I'm looking for? Community. There we go.
Yeah. That's kind of honestly why I'm afraid to actually get into Reg D, because I have to learn a bunch more and I'm too tired.
Yeah, they're like no matter what, it takes a lot to just learn everything. Like when I learned it originally in 2017, it was kind of simple, kind of not, but like all that I was doing was like looking at what some of the what the top teams were doing, whether it was on like someone else's stream or like watching like the actual Pokemon tournaments that they do. So I kind of like built my team like using that in a sense, and like, all right, what things do I need to bring? And it's funny enough because I still know exactly what my team was bar for bar in 2017. It was a Gyarados, Alolan Marowak, Magnezone, Garchomp, and Tapu Fini. Oh, am I missing one?
Nice.
I think I'm missing one. Am I? I'm thinking too much about it. I'm not even gonna bother.
It's moving fast, you're good.
If I'm missing one, I'm missing one. I got 5 out of 6 at least. So, yeah, I actually was like I make like a list of things, just like talk about like if I can't even do words right now. Either way, I have a list of questions, and I'm gonna hit you with one of them right now. Why did you go with WaffleSmacker? What's the origin?
Oh God, WaffleSmacker. I always actually tried to pull like a Grand Pooh Bear type of BS story every time that someone's asking you what your name is. You just give some random story. Because I think at the end of the day, just like when we're all teenagers or we're younger and we're getting online for the first time, we don't know what we want to name ourselves, and we just want to play online games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably what happened to Grand Pooh Bear, and so that's why I had to always like make up a name. But basically, long story short, when I used to play Xbox Halo 2 online, I had the gamer tag Penguin Monkey. I loved that gamer tag, and I lost it when I went to the new generation of consoles for some reason. I couldn't get it back. I was very upset. And it was Halo 3 release night. I wanted to play online with my friend, and I didn't have a live count. So basically, I think I was just scrolling through the automated created names. And as you can tell with Penguin Monkey, I just like to have something weird that catches people's attention. And Waffle something, like, I don't remember what it was. It was something, Waffle something came up. I'm like, what would be something funnier? Like a verb I could just add on to it. And after about 10 minutes of deliberation, I finally ended up on Smacker somehow. And funny story is actually, I even created my sister an account. French Toast. I created her account called Pancake Slapper. But yeah, we had a lot of fun when we were online.
That's great.
It's not originated from me actually taking a waffle and like smacking it on the ground or slapping it in people's faces. Unfortunately, I just want to play games online.
You hate to see it.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, that's actually wild that like a good. I feel like a good amount of people's online personas do come from whatever their gamer tag is for like however long it's been. Because like I've talked about this numerous times. People are probably tired of me talking about it, but my gamer tag, well, it wasn't really a gamer tag, but like my username originated from a very old Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty clan that me and my friends all put together. But like I didn't play because my mother was one of those parents that didn't want me to play with strangers online.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I was pretty much just like a sideline cheerleader at that point. I play anytime at my buddy's place, and and we'd go for trick shots and all that other stupid stuff.
Nice. Yes, it's very similar.
Yeah, they put out one really terribly edited montage, but the only slack that I'm giving them is the fact that that it was made in, I think this was high school. I think like really early high school. So I expected them to not know anything.
I mean, yeah, no one was good at making videos back then. It was all.
Yeah, editing software back then was all super scuffed. Anyways, let's be real here.
Oh yeah. Can't hold it to a high standard. It was probably good at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't. This was at like the height of Face Clan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I like to rag on it because I just think it's so funny, but on like the beat drop, it like he didn't line up like a sniper shot at the base drop or anything. It was just in like a really weird spot, and I was like, oh no. I found the video, I reacted to it on for content, and I was like, this is so bad. I was like, what is going on?
I was hoping you were just like the beat drop was to them teabagging somebody.
No, I think he was just like ADS, just like sitting there or something like that.
Oh, come on.
It was bad. But I actually had like another quick question here because obviously we've mentioned a handful of times already that you ended up moving to Japan. I want to know why you chose to move to Japan instead of just staying in good old land of the free America. I'm not even American. So.
Oh man, I guess we're on the podcast. So I do the long version.
Yeah, go for it. Full send.
Long version. Full send. All right. I am quarter Japanese. Grandma's Japanese. My grandma was born and raised in Japan, and eventually she married my grandfather, who was a U.S. service member. And eventually they moved everywhere. But long story short, I'm quarter Japanese. When I was a kid, I'm the oldest of that side of the family. So I have 2 cousins and my sister. And back then, like my mom was working, so my grandma would raise me and whatnot. And back then, I think I was able to actually speak Japanese and understand Japanese. However, that all kind of went away when I got to elementary school because I realized that people didn't speak Japanese there. So I kind of was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm being weird. And ever since that point, I stopped speaking Japanese until I got to right after graduating high school. My grandmother took my sister and I to Japan. I came here again after I went there as a baby, but it doesn't really matter. I basically fell in love with the country. It was my first time out of America. I've been to Canada multiple times, but that's very, very similar, close to home, same language, everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much just how people explain it is just America light without the mass shootings.
Without the mass shootings, better healthcare, and everyone seems a bit nicer. Yeah, I mean, I lived pretty close to the border, so I've been there multiple times. But yeah, went to Japan, first time in a different culture. Everyone was very hospitable. It was very, very nice. Loved Tokyo, met a bunch of my grandma's friends, but the biggest thing was I couldn't speak the language. And I felt really bad about that. Like I wish I could connect with these people more. So then I went back to university. I had graduated high school. I was going to university, a few weeks later. And I started taking Japanese classes to try to even, improve that. And I was super passionate about it. I also did a business, I was trying to do the business major route too at the same time. But I found out I was really not interested in it. And I ended up being an idiot at the time and choosing the Japanese major route. I eventually graduated. I'll skip over the whole study abroad thing, but I graduated with a Japanese major, minor in business, and I'm like, oh, I probably can't get a job with this. So I ended up coming to Japan where I can use English as my superpower instead. And I went to a language school for about a year. And halfway through that, I started looking for jobs because I learned that in Japan, as long as you graduate university, they don't really care what you graduated with or if you have experience or not. They just hire new graduates en masse to large companies. So if you want to go apply at Sony or Toyota or whatever, you can just go take an interview there as a new grad. I eventually started doing that a lot. I did a lot of interviews in Japanese, probably around more than 30 with different companies, and I finally was able to get a job offer, and I think that kind of cemented me in staying in Japan for the long term, because once I got there, I got trained in that job and things became a lot more stable. But that's kind of like the long story about how I ended up here. Grandma's Japanese, came to Japan, loved it, studied Japanese. Oh no, I can't get a job. Here I am.
So your grandma still lives out in Japan, or did she?
She lives in the States.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have family out there, or were you just like?
I have extended family and like family friends, but I don't actually have like any cousins, for example, or aunts or uncles in Japan. I'm just kind of here on my own.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. I do remember earlier you ended up mentioning like host family or whatever. I've never heard that term in my life. What exactly is that?
Oh, okay, sure. So I studied abroad, I think in my 3rd year of university. I came to Tokyo and I went to language school for 3 months. And there's 2 options you can do. One's a host family, which I'll get into in a second, and the other one's the dorms. Dorms, you live by yourself. You come to Japan, I only here for 3 months. I want to get full mass exposure to be able to speak Japanese every day. So you stay with a host family or exchange family. I think is that the more common term?
I think exchange family is a lot more common. Anyways, yeah.
Okay, sorry. It's the Japanese made up English word. So it's called a host family. Basically I stayed with 2 people. I think they're in their 60s. Mom and dad, they already had a son, but their son already moved out, and I basically stayed with them for 3 months. And yeah, when I was going to language school, I'd just stay there, and after school, go do my homework and talk to them and whatnot. And due to that daily interaction, I was able to actually really improve my Japanese at the time, which is cool. Because I basically went there, I couldn't make casual conversation, and once I came back, I could actually string together sentences to have a conversation with people. So that was a huge level up in my Japanese skills.
Okay. That definitely makes a lot more sense, because in high school we had like exchange students or whatever, but like that was really about it. I'm pretty sure one of the people that did an exchange, I forget where they went, but I'm pretty sure they were still there during the graduation, and they just had her on like a laptop. It was so funny.
It's, if you ever study abroad, definitely get a host family. There's a risk to it, of course. I'm sorry, exchange family. There's a risk to it too. Like it could, be bad or good, but I think it's worth it. Worth the risk.
I feel like that would probably honestly be like a lot better anyways, especially just having that just general interaction to begin with. Because like if you're living by yourself, you're not even gonna be thinking, but you'll probably just be like if I lived by myself, I would just be looking at my computer. It'd be all English.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be learning a single goddamn thing. I'll tell you what.
No. It was a good experience. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah. So that does end up raising another question for me, because I'm probably just gonna have a bunch of questions about Japan. I'll be honest.
Yeah, keep going. No. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah. So so you said that like you ended up moving down there and stuff. I'm assuming that you have to probably still get like a work visa and stuff for there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's all just like the same. It's like, yeah, we want him. He knows English.
Basically, yeah. The company I was joining, they were trying to expand outwards a bit more because they recognize that Japan's population is shrinking. They probably need to make their company a bit more Englishnized. So, yeah. I wasn't the only foreigner. There's a few other foreigners too that also got in there, and they sponsor you for a 5-year visa. But in order for you to get like eligible, you need to have a college degree, at least if you want to work in Japan.
So how long have you been out in Japan already?
In 3 months, it'll be a decade. So 10 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's really gone by fast.
Okay, so how old are you? Because if you're saying it's been 10 years almost in 3 months.
Yeah.
You're not in your 20s then. That's what I'm getting from this.
You thought I was in my 20s? No.
Oh my God.
No, man.
I thought you were like at most I would say like probably my age, like 28.
Well, not that far away, man. I'm 32.
That's so much farther. What do you mean? That's like 4 years.
Don't tell me I'm old, man.
You're old.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Like literally out of most of the people in Epilogue Gang right now, you're probably one of the oldest.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I don't think people know I'm that old, yeah.
No, definitely not. Everyone who's watching this now is gonna know, and they're just gonna show up in your chat like, bro, you're old.
Yeah, you can call me Grandpa Waffle, whatever.
Grandpa Smacker.
Yeah. I don't know. I got really nice genes, so thank you, Mom and Dad. Shouts out to you for making me look a bit younger than I am.
Yeah, no kidding. I bet the hair probably just hides the wrinkles. That's what's going on. It has to be.
I mean, a bit. I also can't really grow facial hair either, so.
Oh yeah, I guess that
hurts.
checks out. Yeah,
I still get carded in the States too.
Yeah, my beard kind of just helps me not get carded ever anymore.
I wish I had that, man.
But I mean, like every now and then when I get carded, it low key just feels nice. I'm like, aw, that's cute. Here's my age.
The last time I showed it to somebody when I was visiting the States, they didn't believe me at first. They thought it was fake.
Oh my god.
But I was like with my parents too. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Like, come on, please.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 32, I turned 33 next month.
Okay. Oh my god. Wait,
yeah,
are
man,
you?
I'm old.
So you're saying you're an August baby as well?
Or are you one too?
Yes.
Yes.
It'll be my birthday when this episode comes out.
Oh really?
Yeah, August 1st.
Oh dang, you're barely an August baby. Nice.
Yeah, I decided to be born on moving day apparently.
Nice.
Yeah.
I apparently couldn't handle myself, and I wanted to get out of the womb as early as possible because I was supposed to be born in October.
Yeah, that didn't happen clearly.
No, it didn't.
I mean, if you say both really slowly, it sounds close.
October, August?
They both start with ah.
Ah.
That's about the best we're getting there. I'm just pulling out strings.
Dang. Am I old? I'd like to think that Resident Nate is older than me.
I actually don't know how old he is.
I think he's older than me, but we'll see. We'll have to ask him later.
Yeah, I think every guy from Boston just sounds older, honestly.
I know he's 24.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? I'm 24.
That'd blow my mind. That would hurt.
It would just destroy your ego.
It would. No, I'm only the oldest. But I thought Resident 8 was a bro. We're close, but yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, Falcon's pretty old too. I had him on the last episode, and
oh, nice.
And yeah, I was like, brother, you're old. I think he's actually around the same age as you. I think
that's about right.
I think he's like 31, 32. I don't remember.
Okay. Darn it, I'm still older.
He could. I don't know exactly how old he is. I'll be honest. I know he's in his 30s.
Okay, Falcon, I still love you, even if you're younger than me.
I don't love him because he made the goddamn podcast go 2.5 hours because he doesn't know how to shut up.
Oh,
it was a long episode.
That's what you want, though. You want the content, no?
I want the content, but that's so long.
And you will edit all of it and enjoy it, won't you? Oh
yeah, gosh. I mean, I was like originally, like when I got back to doing the podcast, I was wanting to do like heavy editing and just like cutting between like webcams and whatnot. And then I realized how tedious that is, and I don't have enough time in my life to do that. So I went back to the classic, just make everything simple, call it a day.
Yep. I mean, who has time for that except for video editors? I'm looking for a video editor if you need one, or if you're looking for a content creator support, I'm here.
Hey, I'm a video editor. I was doing all of Ben's TikToks and stuff whenever he was uploading them. Like no lie, I have a backlog of like 50 shorts that he just has not uploaded because he doesn't upload.
Oh dang. What? Yeah. Okay. I mean, Super Mario Maker troll content is very easy. Even I can make shorts with it.
Yeah, see, there you go. What honestly, one good thing that Twitch has done now is add in like a shorts editor.
Yeah.
That is definitely going in the right direction rather than taking 5 more steps back like they have been.
Have you tried to use it before?
No, I prefer like having my whole hands on it and just especially since in my OBS I have a plugin. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's been recommended.
Vertical?
Yeah, vertical.
Nice.
I just use vertical and have like different scenes set up. Like I have a scene like for like full webcam like this. I have one so that way, because like on my like my gameplay screen, like my webcam's cropped like to like this almost in a like all this part here is gone.
Mhm.
But in vertical, it's still like the full webcam on the top.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have the vertical thing set up as well.
Yeah,
I haven't
so
used it recently, but yeah.
it's honestly it's such a lifesaver.
Do you just wait? I've been recording the raw footage and editing the video editor. I guess I could just do that again. Just record all of it in shorts
I mean, you
format.
could. What
But
in the like I mean it depends. Like what you can do honestly is set up a vertical or whichever one you want and set up your replay buffer and whatnot. And you can
yeah.
yeah, like literally my replay buffer for vertical anyways is like set for like 2 minutes.
That's a good that's a good one. I think
And
I should probably do that.
yeah, so that way I'm only having to cut out like at most like a minute of footage.
That's smart. And just have a button ready to press so you can press it whenever you want that
Yeah,
footage.
yeah. And you can like hotkey it to your stream deck. And
Yeah.
we talked about this in Discord and I know that you have a stream deck.
Yes. I have two.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out everything that to just throw onto my stream deck. Like I for some reason on like the main stream, I have one button that says stream. I click that and then everything's there. Like there's no point in me having that button because I do nothing else with it. I only use it for stream.
That's true. Yeah. I should look at that again. Except for I don't want to lose the main recording stuff because I want to make long content eventually. I'll think about it more.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, are you showing your screen or is it your camera froze for me?
Is it froze? Oh, that's kind of funny.
Well, just on Discord. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Are we good now?
You're back.
All
You're
right,
good.
cool. Yeah, I think it's because I accidentally minimized it.
You're all good.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
yeah.
Ben,
My mouth.
upload those 50 shorts. Free content.
He's not going to. Trust me, I've been on his ass numerous times. I was like, just give me your login information. I will physically upload all of them to TikTok and YouTube for you.
Oh dang! What an editor.
Listen, that's why I get paid the big bucks. Kidding. I wish I got paid big bucks. I get paid enough at the time. I haven't had to edit for him for a bit, so it is what it is.
I might actually seriously want to think about that because I don't have enough time to edit my own videos. Like I learned I guess it's all about learning how quickly you can, if you do it enough, you can get faster at it.
Yeah, a lot of it comes to like if you want to learn it, but I'll be honest, if I had the money to just hire an editor to do my content, I would. Like there was one point where I actually had someone who was doing it for free. I don't know why the hell he did. And he went by Spacebar Online, and I think he still watches my content every now and then. I don't know if you're watching and you know who you are. Love you. But I had him edit like just random highlight videos for me. I had him physically go through my streams and make highlight videos out of that too.
Dang.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of good work for me for free.
Dang. Actually, then I should shout out Fred Tapes. One of my moderators did the same thing for me too. Made a bunch of shorts.
Yeah, there you go.
And has made some stuff for my content. Love you, Fred. Thank you.
Shout out to the people that just want you to succeed and just give it to you for free.
Right? I mean, I would love to pay eventually, but
yeah,
I think you need to make it more.
Yeah, I think like luckily enough, one of the good things about YouTube right now is they have, I believe they like just recently changed their YouTube partnership program rules.
Yep.
They pretty much cut like all the requirements in half.
Yep.
So now I don't have to worry about getting 1,000 subs. I'm past the point where I have enough subs now, which is awesome.
Heck yeah.
Because I've been floating at like 900 to 920. Like honestly, it only got that high because I was putting like a heavy focus on YouTube and streaming over there instead for a while, for like a year.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, hey, I'm gonna come back to Twitch where I can restart again, because I'm really good at just taking whatever I built, even the most minor amount, and just throwing it in the trash and having to start from the bottom again.
You enjoy the journey.
Sure. Like literally, I spent 3 years shiny hunting. I built an audience there of like, I think it was like 10 to 20 average viewers or something like that.
Nice, yeah.
Sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, of course. And then I threw that away, went to Call of Duty content. So I was starting from the bottom again. And then I went from Call of Duty to YouTube. I lost whatever I had there. And then I went from YouTube, and then I went from streaming COD to streaming Fortnite. So that was another restart.
Oh man, yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I'm going to go back to Twitch. So that was another restart because people on Twitch knew me as the Pokemon guy. And here I am playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I'm going to change my content again, go from Fortnite to fighting games. And then fighting games was a small stint. And then I went from fighting games back to Pokemon. I hate my life.
You gotta admire those people, like those content creators that can just play the same game forever and they don't want to ever stop. It's impressive.
I am sitting in a perpetual hell right now. This is literally just what happens.
Oh man. Like I've also thought about streaming on YouTube just to try to get the subscriber count up eventually, and so I get the partnership and then push out more content there, but who has the time?
Exactly. Honestly, like if Twitch didn't mess around with their ruling for the restreaming stuff, I would say just restream it, because like even at actually no, never mind, you're a partner, that wouldn't work well for you. Because since I'm a little affiliate, they don't care what I do.
I think you can as a partner now.
Not anymore. You were originally able to. No. As a partner, you can stream on other. I think it was like.
Oh, but you need 1 day. Like you need to like have it so like the stuff you stream on Twitch has 1 day.
Yeah, something
or
like that.
2 days. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was it was stupid. But as like a little affiliate, as a little affiliate, they don't care what I do. I'm just a little baby man.
It's just a badge, man. I know it's easy for me to say, but
yeah,
it's just a badge.
It really is just a badge when it comes down to it. Like unless you're going to like TwitchCon and all that, it's just a badge.
I mean, I would love to go to TwitchCon, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know, it's just a badge.
Yeah,
it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna be growing a ton.
Yeah, TwitchCon would be so expensive for you. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm thinking. Yep. Like I think it's expensive for me, and that's why I don't want to go, even though I definitely want to. But I'm like, brother, it's like I'm like paying $700 for the flight there and back. Like,
oh, $700, nice. That's
like
cheap.
I can't afford $700. If Twitch was paying my bills, then maybe.
Yeah, right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like a flight to the state. Oh, if you can get, I can get a cheap flight to the States for I think about $800, but that's like nothing. It's bare bones. Like the cheap ones. The typical economy right now, from like Tokyo to LA, for example, is like, I guess $1,800 around there.
Yeah, something like that. I'm
And
trying to see when TwitchCon is. I'm gonna see how much a
okay.
flight is. Yeah, you can keep talking.
And also, like, if you switch it, the weird thing is, if you start in the States and you go to Tokyo and then back, it's cheaper than flying from Tokyo to the States and back. I don't know why, but that's how it is. And the prices got insane because I used to go back for Christmas, and Christmas flights were still expensive at like
Oh my god.
1,100.
Yeah, holiday flights are actually the worst.
Yeah, 1,100 was used to be cheap. Like this last Christmas I looked, I think it was over, the average was over $2,000 for one person in economy. That's not even business class.
Is that like 2000 US?
Yeah, 2,000 US.
Brother.
It's insane.
And the Canadian dollar is even worse. So like that's like almost like a $3,000 ticket.
It's brutal.
Yeah. So I just looked, a round trip is at least 728 Canadian. So that's like 600, 500 US, something like that. So like it's not the worst, but
Jeez.
like then having to pay for like the hotel, the TwitchCon ticket, the food,
Yep.
everything else. It's just not it's not in the budget. I actually tried going in 2018. I bought my TwitchCon ticket, didn't end up going.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I kind of just I have the badge in the Twitch chat that I can just turn on for that one, and I was like, I didn't go. I just bought the ticket.
Dang.
I paid like $200 for my ticket. All I got was a stinky little badge.
Oh no. Oh man. I would love to go one time.
Mm-hmm.
At least one.
Yeah, I think for me it's like I just know so many people online that I just want to meet, and I'm just like I cannot. That is not in the cards ever.
Except for I'm kind of afraid to go too because multiple people in my community said they would actually buy like waffles and throw them at me if they ever saw me.
Ew, sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
you just gotta hire security. Easy.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Surely it's not
Get the
that
Kaiser police. No.
Absolutely not. I had a question and now it kind of just left my brain.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Is it about Japan?
I think it was, but now I remember now. Because you've been in Japan for like 10 years at this point. Yep. Do you have citizenship there yet, or is that just like a pain in the ass to get?
Good question. I don't have citizenship. I've thought about applying a few times, but I'm not going to get it because if I get it, I have to revoke my US citizenship.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Japan does not allow dual citizens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's something new.
You can look online. Like, there's been a few controversies in the past where like celebrities get really angry they have to give up one of their citizenships.
Mm-hmm.
But the one reason I would even consider getting rid of my US citizenship is because the Japanese passport's stronger. You can go to more countries visa free. And the US has citizenship based taxing. So it means I have to file for taxes every year, even though I live in Japan and I haven't worked in the States for 10 years.
Okay.
But
That's
I do have
weird.
I have something called permanent residency though, which means I can live here I don't even have to be working. I can just live here.
Oh, okay.
Basically all the same rights except for I'm not Japanese. I don't get a passport, but I get like all the other benefits.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
God, that is actually really interesting because like every other place I at least talk to people about, they're like, oh yeah, I have dual citizenship for this place, yada yada. But I guess clearly I don't talk to enough people who have been to Japan and have looked into this stuff.
Because most of my family is still in the States, right? So I wouldn't want to give that up because then I'd have to apply for a visa. They have visa-free travel, but you still have to do weird online registration and stuff. My bank accounts would be a weird thing, and I'd probably remain a U.S. citizen, but I have thought about it once or twice.
Yeah, I feel like it would just be simpler to be a U.S. citizen rather than just switch it all over. Right? I just feel like that'd be way too much of a headache and just couldn't be bothered with it.
Right? Get rid of my middle name. And whenever I had my passport, the people would look at me like you're not Japanese.
Wait, Japan gets rid of middle names? What? Hold on.
There's no middle names in Japan. There's first, last name. That's it.
What the hell? That's, I don't know. Japan is just an abnormality to me. That's what it is.
What?
That's the word I'm going to go with.
I mean, Korea's the same. China's the same. They don't have middle names.
All right, I'll specify. Asian countries are all freaking weird.
Yeah, no middle names.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like no middle names would probably be okay. Because who else are you gonna? How often do you call people by their middle name? How often do you know someone's middle name?
You don't. And
exactly.
It's only called when someone's angry at you, specifically your mother.
Yes, exactly. I got that way too often. It was about an everyday occurrence, give or take. I was a menace as a child.
I can't imagine.
The fact that I turned out like half decent, I'm like, let's go.
That's a good win.
Yeah, exactly.
I did have a friend who actually went back to their home country, removed their middle name for their passport to make their life easier in Japan.
My God. I mean, I guess that would make sense.
I mean, think about it. When you go online and you're trying to register an account for yourself and there's only a first name and last name, what do? And they get rejected because you don't have your middle name and doesn't match your ID that's been issued by the government. What do you do?
Oh, yeah. I guess you would throw, let's see. You would throw the middle name under the first name?
Yep,
section?
That's what you do. You combine it.
Yeah.
It's a pain.
Yeah, that would suck. And doesn't everyone out there just like call each other by their last names for the most part?
Yep.
Or is okay. I wasn't sure if that was just a stereotypical thing.
Oh man, do we want to get into complexities of Japanese language and culture?
Oh yes, let's go.
And the hierarchy of Japanese society. Well, it's not really hierarchy. So everyone's always heard of the san thing, right? You can call it WaffleSmacker san.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually, where do we even start here? No, we're gonna take a step back. In Japanese, there are a few different ways you can talk to people. So you can talk to each other like this. You're at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to someone up, or you can talk to someone down. And that's kind of the way it works. So this is me, I'm speaking to a senior. This is me, I'm speaking to a junior, or this is me speaking to a colleague or a friend. Mm-hmm. And this is how you're always kind of changing your brain when you're speaking Japanese to make sure you're addressing people in the correct way to speak. So whenever you say san, that's a formal, you're at the same level, you're both acknowledging each other, or you're speaking up to somebody.
Okay.
But you would never call someone your junior san. You would call them kun or chan.
Okay, so now I have a really funny question.
Yeah.
Have you ever, just for fun, decided to call one of your higher ups chan? Or no. Why not? What is it, just like a respect thing, or?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm degenerate enough to just pull some stupid joke like that,
and then just go, American joke desu ne.
Yeah.
American joke.
Yeah, I'm like, yep.
I mean, yeah, I never did that because most of the time I was always speaking Japanese was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like talking to like the seniors in the company, and Japanese people tend to talk a lot. So if you do something bad, everyone will know.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I really tried to abide by the social norms.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying. What? So when people talk, like when they're using like their names and whatnot, do they always have to put like san or whatever after it?
No. So if you're talking to your friends, you're not going to call them san. You're not going to call them kun. You just probably call them by their first name.
Okay, so it's more of like a professional, formal kind of.
Yeah, so
Okay.
let's take like let's make up a fake person named Kenta Tanaka. His last name would be Tanaka. So if you're speaking up to him as like your manager, you go Tanaka-san. ちょっと質問あるんですけど, like I have a question. Or if you're talking to your junior and they're lower than you in the company, you call them Tanaka-kun, because that shows like it's in a term of endearment or whatever. It's weird. But then if you're talking to each other casually and you're both kind of the same level, you're not that close, you'd call each other son. But then if you're like the same level, you could go Oi Tanaka, or you can say Hey Kenta.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's kind of how it works. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm kind of getting it.
This is one thing that people don't realize when they start learning Japanese and they start speaking like anime, not realizing it's actually super rude in Japanese. Like, oh, it's fine. They'll just be happy and speak it. They're like, oh man, that guy spoke weird Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like on TikTok, there was this one account that I found that was like that, and he was like acting. At least I'm hoping he was acting. He as like one of those like weird like anime guys or whatever. That's like girlfriend is like a body pillow sort of thing, but in this case, it was like a Vaporeon.
My God, and, of course.
And then he keeps talking like this and then scratching his head like this.
Oh yeah.
Just like he's from an anime.
Ah,
and I was like,
little stuff. Yeah.
I can't help but just to watch it because it just feels like such a train wreck.
Oh, Vaporeon. Oh my God. Yeah, it's Japanese language is weird when you first learn it, and that's why a lot of people stop learning after first year because it gets really difficult.
All right. So in another like, I'm just gonna start throwing Japanese questions at you at this point.
Okay.
What is the weirdest commercial you've seen?
The weirdest commercial I've seen was probably actually I have it on my stream. It's this crazy Nissin. Nissin is the company. I actually do I have the chicken here? I can't. Where'd it go? There you go. The chicken.
Oh, okay.
The chicken appears. Basically, it's cup noodles. They make all the cup noodles products around the world. But I was sitting there watching TV, and then this commercial that came on. I don't know how to describe it. I should pull it. I can't even pull it up on this. Maybe I can send you the link there. You can put it in. But basically, it starts off as that cute little chicken like eating noodles, and then eventually it takes a bite and it turns into this demon-like chicken that gets super huge. There's tons of fire. It gets a comet like runs into the earth and it blows up, and the chicken catches it in this cup noodle. Basically, it felt like I suddenly was tripping.
Oh my God!
And it was amazing. That is my favorite one.
Oh my God. That just sounds wild. Like every single time I think like Japanese TV, I just immediately think of like commercials and then trying to piece together what exactly it's about, and it's never right.
No. I think so a lot of people watch a lot of crazy Japanese commercials and they think that's all of them are like that. I want to say like a fourth or a third of them are crazy like that. The other ones are very boring. Like, you have constipation problems? Here, take this and you'll be fine. Like, there's other stuff like that.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, I would hope that like not all of them are like that, but the fact that that's like a 1 out of 4 chance, that's 25% of those commercials, brother. You're getting hit with one at least every ad break almost.
Yeah. I mean, Nissin though, they are just next tier. They're always crazy. I love Nissin commercials.
I'm trying to think on your stream, which I'm assuming it's from one of the channel points or whatever, right?
Yeah, I if I can switch to actually my other screen, I can record it real quick. Let's see. Do I have my stream deck up? Is it my streamer bot? It is working. So let's switch to this. I don't know if the audio will play. Beast mode.
I don't hear it, but I'll watch it.
Okay. It goes on for like that for quite a bit longer. I'll send you the link later.
Low key, that kind of goes hard.
The music's amazing too. It goes like super metal. It's like Sugu Oishii, Sugu Oishii, which means it's Sugu Oishii means it's delicious soon and it's really delicious. But It goes hard.
So many things. I love the fact that they just get completely lost in translation too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I try to use my stream sometimes to try to bridge that gap and explain some of these weird things you see on the internet from Japan, but it's fun.
Yeah. So another question here. Because you mentioned you mentioned that some commercials make it seem like that you're just tripping.
Yep.
What how hard how hard do they go about no drugs? Like let's say like weed, let's say weed for example.
Very hard.
Very hard.
I still see posters everywhere. There's like, weed will destroy your life. Don't even think about it once.
Oh my god.
And they have like kids from elementary schools like write pictures about what they think if you do weed, and it shows like people's brains like melting. It's crazy.
God, that's actually kind of funny.
Like whenever I see them too, I take pictures of them because I think they're ridiculous.
Oh, I believe it. I still remember. I think there was like it wasn't for like weed. I think it was for like smoking, and I think this was. I'm assuming this was an American one. But it was like saying that like smoking makes you gay, and I was just laughing so hard.
Oh my god!
I'm like, there's no way.
Oh my gosh, it's really funny. Like all of that, we hopped down that rabbit hole. But like, I'm from the Seattle area, and there's one dispensary in Seattle that it has just all the old propaganda posters from like the '60s. I'm like, what? Don't smoke the devil's grass, and that's kind of what reminds me of right now in Japan. It's just like, it will ruin your life. And then you have celebrities get caught with marijuana, and they have to like go on the ground and apologize and do the whole like this thing, and they're crying, and it always hurts my soul, and I get really angry.
I guess that actually just brought up another question as I was like mentioning like the smoking makes you gay thing.
Yeah.
In Japan, how like okay are they with like gay like rights and all that other stuff? Because that's something that I never really hear anyone talk about. Like if it's like an actual thing that like they're like yeah, or they're like yeah, no, being gay is bad.
So that one is a lot different here. I think they definitely still do struggle, and they have a harder life just like they do in most places. I don't think you'll have people actually physically getting attacked in Japan. However, people will probably talk behind your back, and you may, especially with how society is, like there's this term in Japanese, it's called derukugi wa utareru, which means the stake that's sticking out will get hammered in. So basically, there's a huge focus for specifically Japanese people to conform with the rest of society. And I think that whole part of the society makes it really difficult. I can't speak for these people at all, but I think they recently like started to try to legalize gay marriage. I think I don't remember if it's actually passed in Tokyo or not. I know they're trying to push for it. Generally, I don't think there's as much hate towards those people at all, but I don't think it's something that is easy to openly speak about, if it makes sense.
Yeah,
because the whole cultural foundations, like America is a lot more influenced by old Christianity, and those morals kind of shape society. Japan doesn't have that. Like there is no being gay is against the Bible. There's nothing like that here. It's just it's just a different stereotype, and then people might get made fun of it for sometimes, but in general, I think it's safer here, but it's not perfect.
Okay. Because that was like one thing that I was curious on, because obviously like through like the online sphere, there's always a lot of talk about the LGBTQ plus. I work with a bunch of people who are queer, bi, pan, so on and so forth. And it's just something that actually made me think a little bit, is like how different nations like kind of like react about it. And I think Japan is just one that I never really hear much about anything about that.
Yeah, it is difficult. Like there's actually a very time. It's a very unfortunate, very timely thing. But there was a famous person in Japan who recently, when they were first on TV and stuff, they never really identified as anything. They're just on TV, and everyone thought they're kind of very charismatic, and they like to put on makeup and whatnot. And a few years later, they got married to a person they met through that whole thing, and they had a son. But once they got into that situation, they realized that maybe this isn't for me. I don't want to be called dad. And then they started actually going through transformation. They started to transition to be a woman. But I think they actually just committed suicide like a week ago, and it's really, really sad. But I think it's because of online bullying, like online hate comments and stuff. So it still definitely exists in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, is there like different social medias for Japan as well, or is that just like a mainly like China thing or Korea? Because I know like in in those countries they have like I think China has like their own like live streaming platform as well, as an example, and I think
Yeah.
they have like their own different like Twitter and all that other stuff as well.
Well, it's because, yeah, if you've never been to China, no one knows, but you cannot access any US or any foreign websites. You can't access anything.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's so inconvenient when you go there. Like, you can't access anything. Like, no Google, nothing. But in Korea and Japan, though, they have, of course, all the foreign companies. Actually, they heavily use Twitter. Like, heavily. Everyone's on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll be honest, like a lot of like most of the time when I see like any Japanese on Twitter, it's either like an artist sharing some fan art of some anime or Genshin Impact.
It's huge. Like, not just people in anime sphere, like everybody uses Twitter. But obviously, if you don't follow the Japanese hashtags, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Yeah.
But like, for example, if I'm walking somewhere and I see like there's a bunch of police cars and I want to see what happens, I just look up on the area and then I type in something, and then there'll be someone tweeting that and posting pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that just popped in my head. What is a stereotype about Japan that you have found to be true?
A stereotype about Japan I found to be true. My God. What's a Oh my gosh, I can't remember stereotypes anymore. I've been here too long.
Oh, I forgot that you've been there for like 10 years.
What are the stereotypes about Japan?
Like
when I think about stereotypes of Japan, I think like, oh, Japan's very clean.
A lot of, I guess, more open fetishes, I guess. They're hentai, I don't know.
All right, that's tough.
I don't know all the stereotypes. I'm gonna Google this right now.
What are Japanese stereotypes? In terms of that stuff, generally people, I mean, they have places that people go and whatnot, like maid cafes. But generally people won't talk about that unless you go drinking. That's one thing that's kind of interesting about Japan, is like people are pretty reserved until you get like one beer, and then once you start drinking, like all defenses are put down, and people will just kind of go crazy.
Yeah, like every single time I see like any like YouTuber be like, oh, I went to Japan, they're always like, oh yeah, there's like a maid cafe, all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, maid cafes, yep. I don't enjoy them. I went one time and it was so cringe I don't want to go again.
True. All right, I'm seeing a few here. It's eight common stereotypes Japanese hate.
Japanese hate.
Yeah, I guess they hate the stereotype or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna skip the first three because I think they're all stupid. Japanese are racist because they're still unhappy about their defeat in World War II.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. There are a very, very few people I have come across in Japan who kind of are like that, but for the most part, most people don't hold grudges at all, really. It's the same thing with any country you go to. There's gonna be a few weird people, and I have seen weird people like spewing hate on Facebook to an empty room.
Mm-hmm.
But not so much. It's pretty similar with any other country you go to.
Yeah,
There are some bad apples.
yeah, like pretty much from like the YouTube videos that, like I've seen anyways from like a handful of people, and when they talk about it, they're like, well, yeah, there was like a handful of places that are like, no, they just didn't let them in because they weren't like from there or something like that, and I was like,
Oh, no foreigners. There's some
yeah,
people like that. Yeah, it's
yeah, I mean, I feel like
I don't
that's
know.
like I feel like that's like it is what it is.
Unfortunately, no, some people suck. Is my
Yeah,
favorite thing to say. Some people suck, and wherever you go, some people suck.
yeah,
And those people shouldn't reflect on the rest of the society,
true.
unfortunately. But sometimes they do.
Yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
I've never been turned around though
Oh,
from a place. But yeah,
so the next one here that I see is Japanese are super polite. They bow and say thank you to everything.
Japanese people are very polite. Yes. Um, it's well bow. They don't bow. I mean, bowing's like even when you say thank you to somebody and you're just walking by them, you do a little bow. So I think that is true. Because even when I go back to the States and I say thank you, I actually find myself like subconsciously actually bowing and stuff.
Hmm.
So that I would say that's true. Yeah.
All right. Next one here is Japan is a high tech land.
Japan is high tech.
Do you think they're high tech?
They are in some ways, but there aren't in others. It's very bizarre. Like you can go to the convenience store and basically take care of anything you possibly need to in terms of like paying bills, getting the ATM, getting stuff like special paperwork you need. Um, like on my phone too, I can or there's a thing called Passmo, which is basically your train pass. I can go up to the convenience store. I can go to a lot of stores. I can go to vending machines and stuff. I can just pay with my phone by just like touching it or hovering next to the payment thing.
Hmm.
But this is also the same country that refuses to get rid of fax machines. And like 2 years ago, had an issue because they inserted the wrong floppy disk to disperse data.
Oh my
Like
god, floppy disk, brother.
there's some things are super high tech, and there's other things like why the heck are we still doing this?
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
heard that in Japan they are very still like heavily like cash based as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can still use credit cards. You can most places you can use credit cards, and a lot of places, like I said, you can pay with your phone but using the app. But still, very heavy for cash. I mean, hell, I went to a cafe this last weekend and it was only cash.
Yeah, that I don't know. I think for me, like I'm so used to like, especially since like COVID, things being a lot less cash oriented.
Yeah.
That 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 I'll be honest, I just never carry cash. The only time that I have cash on me is when I have tips from work, and that's literally all I got on me, which is like maybe like $20.
Yeah. Right. That's a
Yeah,
good pro tip though. If you come to Japan, at least have like $200 in your wallet.
yeah.
But you don't have to worry about people stealing it because there's not pickpocket. There's not barely any like theft in Japan.
Oh, that's actually solid.
Like, for example, when people are trying to save a table, like they go into Starbucks, they want to save their table, they'll walk over and like put their umbrella or their hat on the table, and they'll go like wait and order. They'll come back and it'll still be there.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Japan's, of course, always be on guard, but generally Japan's really safe. And if you lose stuff, like 80 to 90% of the time, it'll come back to you.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Yeah.
All right. So another one here is women will not advance far with careers in Japan. I don't know how much you can actually speak on that, but
I would say just like any country, it's difficult, but even at my company or my wife's company, there's a lot of women in senior positions. So it's getting better. I think that was probably more of a thing like 20 years ago, but there's still definitely it's still very, very difficult for women. I know, but it's changing.
I think I just got some more lore. I didn't know you had a wife.
Yes, we have Waffle Wife.
Oh, I actually had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I mention her on stream, but
I'll be honest. I thought you were just a lonely little guy in Japan, and here you
no,
are, 32, have a wife.
have a
Oh,
wife. Yep, got a
yeah.
cat. Yep.
I thought you were about to say kid at that point, because I was gonna say
no,
that the
no,
next
no,
thing
no.
you're gonna tell me is you have a kid.
Oh yeah, they're going to high school. No, yeah, not yet. No,
Oh my god, high school. Oh my god, brother. No, no, no. That would not be your kid.
no, no.
So, so now I just want to get a deep dive here now.
Okay, yeah.
Now you got me interested.
Okay.
So it's probably safe to assume that you ended up meeting your wife out here then, right?
Yes, that's safe to assume. Yes.
So how did you two meet? Give me all the gossip.
Oh God, I shouldn't have mentioned this. Now I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
all
you
right.
did this yourself.
Oh God. Okay. So this is back during my Japanese language school days. Basically I'd go to class at 9 in the morning and it'd finish around 12:30. And then me and my friend, we would wander around like the area to go to cafe and do our homework. Or just like basically, because we had a bunch of time. It was the rest of the day, and if we just went home, it'd be boring. So sometimes we'd go to the game center, play games for a bit, and then we'd go to cafe, sit there, do our homework, and eventually go home. So this friend of mine, I was trying to encourage him to eventually try to get a Japanese, try to get a girlfriend, and I was going to show him, hey, like there was a. I hate having to tell a story. Long story short, we're at Starbucks. At that Starbucks, there was a big table, like where I think about 10 people could sit. It's kind of an open space, and we were sitting there doing homework. We're sitting across from each other, and then someone comes and sits right next to him, and they open up an English textbook and they start studying English. And I said to him,
"Oh, that's easy.
Hey, man, I want you. I want to help you see the steps about how you could eventually potentially get a girl's like phone number or her messaging information. So I started talking to her, and eventually we're talking. It was fun, and I eventually exchanged information with her, and that's kind of how I met her. If you ask her for her perspective, I was a creepy dude who spoke way too much, and she thought I was annoying. And my recollection of this and her recollection of this are very different, and it makes me feel like a creeper. But yeah, she said I was talking a lot, and my friend, to be fair, my friend didn't speak too much. He kind of just like said yeah, because he wasn't a very talkative type. So to fill that gap, I would speak a lot more. And
oh my god.
Eventually, yeah, we talked to her. We learned that she's studying English, whatever. She helped us a bit with our Japanese homework. I got her line information, and then a while later, I actually ended up messaging her because I learned that she was studying for an English test. So we met a bit later. We went back to the same cafe we met, and it was still fun. She realized I wasn't a weird person. I was just a friendly American. And then it kind of went from there. Like after we met, about 4 months later, we officially started dating, and then we were dating for quite some time. But if you ask her the story, though, like you'll get a much different picture. It wasn't as happy, and
oh, that would be so funny.
So long story short, I met my wife at Starbucks.
Aw, how cute.
And she even said like that day was very momentous because she was choosing, should I go to that Starbucks or should I go to this Starbucks?
Wow.
And I'd like to think that she was happy she went to the Starbucks she went to.
I mean, she met allegedly some creep.
Yep. We're talking about long-term stuff. It's okay.
Yeah. The initial interaction, completely different story.
Exactly. That's how it happened.
Yeah. All right. So since we are about just a little bit over an hour in, we are going to go through some of the segments I do like to do every podcast episode. Normally I do have like a Twitter Q&A as well, but I didn't have enough time to gather questions and whatnot, and I'm busy. Cut me some slack, okay? Jesus.
Shame.
These people. These people who enjoy the content, how dare they? All right, so the first segment we have is a would you rather.
Oh boy.
So
okay. Yep.
I'll give you a few different would you rathers. I got each of them from the from r/would you rather, and they come from the top ones of the month.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So the first one here is, would you rather have 10 seconds to tell your pet or pets anything and they understand you, or say something anonymously to the whole world and everyone hears it at the same time, excluding animals.
What? Everything to everybody in the world, or to be able to talk to your pets.
Yeah, you just get to say one. You get to say just anything anonymously to the whole world. Kind of like I would, how I pictured it is kind of like, of course I'm gonna mention an anime, talking to a fucking Japanese guy. Like when Goku like talks to the whole world trying to gather his like spirit bomb sort of thing. Like that's kind of what I picture.
I'm gonna go for pet.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't know which one I'd want. Like maybe I would go with the 10 seconds to just be like, "Ayo, dog, you're chill as hell. Dap me up, brother." But then at the same time, if I'm saying something to everyone at the same time, like you could be really funny about it.
You could. Like, there's a whole troll angle, or the whole thing of like trying to make the world a better place. But I think people probably go troll. But then I was also thinking about what about the mass hysteria you cause by everyone suddenly having a voice in their head, and you can't relate with anyone else's trauma because you're the person that did it.
Exactly, that's the best part. And the funny part is on the would you rather. I believe the say something anonymously actually was won that.
Dang, I can imagine you could troll people so bad.
Yeah. I don't think it was by like a large margin by any means, but either way, the fact that they would rather do that than just have their pets understand them for 10 seconds.
I'd rather go for pet. I think that'd be more meaningful to me.
For some reason, one thing I imagine, just someone who voted for the say things anonymously, I pictured them just screaming penis.
Oh yeah, I bet there'd be a lot of
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of penis in the ears, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm happy with my decision. I don't want to cause mass hysteria in the world.
Come on, you gotta live a little. So the next one here is: would you rather be stuck in the last video game you played or the last movie you watched?
Oh gosh, what was the last movie I watched?
Oh,
I do remember the last movie I watched.
What was it?
Last game I played. So last game I played was obviously Super Mario Maker 2. The last movie I watched was Happy Gilmore.
Oh, Happy Gilmore's fire.
Right? That'd be a good world to be stuck in.
Dude, that's an easy answer.
Yeah, I think obviously Happy Gilmore. I don't have to deal with any Goombas trying to kill me.
Yeah, you just have to deal with swinging a golf club.
It's all in the hips. Yes.
Yeah. I remember Happy Gilmore. It was so funny.
I love that movie. I quote it a lot.
The alligator, man, the fucking alligator.
Took my hand.
I haven't seen it in like a really long time. But like I always found like Adam Sandler movies, like especially from back then, they were just iconic.
They're so good. On my stream I quote Happy Gilmore and Mr. Deeds a lot because I just love those movies.
Yeah. I think one of my probably favorite Adam Sandler movies was ironically not like a like a live one or whatever. It was 8 Crazy Nights. That was my favorite.
I still haven't watched that one. I need to go back and watch that.
Oh, it's so good.
My gosh, so good. I mean, I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan, so I'm pretty sure I'll like anything he does.
Yeah, and I think I think it was like somewhere in like the past like couple of years, something like that. He was doing like some sort of like stand up thing as well. I'm not sure if you saw it.
I didn't.
He did like some weird song about like how a guy only needs his phone, wallet, keys in his pocket. And then
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
And then he would end up forgetting something that he needed, and then he would add that to it. And then it got to a point where he added a laptop to it.
I mean, God. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I gotta find out what it's called. Phone, wallet, keys. Adam Sandler. It was on Netflix, I believe, is what
Oh,
it's what
perfect.
I'm
So I can
seeing.
watch it.
Uh, Adam Sandler. Where is that?
Uh,
What was? Oh, it's from I think the stand up was Netflix is a joke or something like that.
Okay, I might be watching that later then when I work on more content.
Yeah, there you go. Give you a little something to watch.
But
Go ahead.
I was about to say, I would be happily and Happy Gilmore. The only thing that'd be scary is having to deal with Ben Stiller as the awful retirement home assistant.
Oh no.
Now, you'll go to sleep or I'll put you to sleep.
All right,
Yep. Go ahead.
all right. So now we have one last would you rather, and then we'll have
Let's go.
another different segment after that. So the last one here is would you rather prevent 9/11 or receive $1 billion?
Oh God. Oh God. I'd prevent. Yeah, I'll prevent 9/11. Yes.
I always have to have one
One
wildly
that makes
outlandish one.
the one make you want to be extremely selfish. No, yeah, it would be prevent 9/11. 9/11 impacted so many people.
Yeah.
Wait, like not just the incident, like the following years.
Yeah.
Plus, money
kind of,
isn't happiness.
I mean,
Up to a certain degree. $1 billion, I don't know. It doesn't look like
$1 billion means I don't have to pay for a house anymore.
that's true. I mean, you could buy, $1,000 million houses. Wouldn't that be cool?
I could have 10 monitors, 6 consoles.
You're dreaming big there. Yeah, I prevent 9/11 because, yeah, that
Because it's 9/11.
because it's 9/11. It impacted a lot of people's lives, obviously.
Yeah. Funny enough, for that one, it was most people actually went for the 1 billion, which I'm also not shocked.
When you're anonymous on the internet and you don't
Yeah.
have something to your face, I think your
Mhm.
answer will change.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Like 9/11 was like 2001 or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. So it's been 22 years. Surely we're allowed to make 9/11 jokes now, right? Isn't the rule like after it's been 10 years, you're good?
I don't know the socially acceptable rule. I mean, people will make fun of things the day after they happen to try to lessen the mood.
Well, I mean, like, all right, here we go.
Oh gosh.
I don't have a joke right. I thought I had one ready, and then it just wasn't going right in my head how I thought about making it come out. Oh well, that's okay. Either way, I'm gonna skip that little joke that I thought I had. That's what happens when my brain is running on probably almost nothing at this point. Head empty, no thoughts.
Time for espresso shot.
Yeah, no, like for people who don't know, I actually work at Starbucks, so
Dude,
yeah, I thrive off of it.
let's go.
Like literally, I stopped. I was able to recognize the cup when you like first held it up, like at the very beginning.
It's a plastic cup. I'm drinking water out of it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I have the exact same cup in
Hell
a
yeah.
different room. Like
Hell yeah.
literally, like nor to lie, I have empty cups here. Like
Oh, nice.
like because I just bring one home every day.
Wait, so I can thank you for meeting my wife. No.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yep.
me and only me. Starbucks, give me a
Yes.
raise. But anyways, the last segment is one has to go. I picked 3 things. Typically there's something that you like, but I feel like I do games way too much, so I decided not to go with that.
Oh boy.
So I went based off of the little waffle thing, and we're going with French toast, pancakes, or crepes.
I have to get rid of one.
Yes. French toast, pancakes, or crepes.
Oh man. Oh man. Pancake. French toast, I have to leave there because French toast, if anyone doesn't know, is my mod, and it's actually my little sister. So I have to, out of obligation, I can't say that.
I mean, you could.
I could.
Yeah.
No, pancakes are grapes. I'm going to get rid of grapes.
Grapes, final answer.
Grapes, final answer. I just had pancakes this weekend. There's the Japanese souffle pancakes. They're amazing. I eat those a lot more than crepes. I haven't had a crepe in like 3 years, so
I'm trying to
I'll leave it at that.
I'm trying to think the last time I had a crepe. I think I had it at, honestly, it might be about the same amount of time as it's been for you. Because there's like one like breakfast restaurant that I go to like once in a blue moon. But most of the time I'm not getting crepes. I'm getting myself an eggs Benedict. Come on. You gotta,
right?
You gotta go big or go home. There's no shot I'm just getting a lousy crepe that's wrapped up in whatever they decide to put in it.
Yeah. Oh, I miss eggs Benedict. They don't have really good stuff here. The sauce is not right, man. The sauce isn't right.
Yeah, you gotta get that fresh, nice hollandaise sauce. So good.
I went to a place and I swear to God they put like some weird sauce with mayonnaise, and I'm like, what is this?
I mean, isn't eggs Benedict like the hollandaise sauce made with like some mayo?
I think it is, but they put way too much mayo. It tasted like mayo. It wasn't the hollandaise like rich, savory.
Yeah, they probably didn't use like as much, or I guess they used too much hollandaise sauce. I keep wanting to call it holiday sauce because I'm so convinced that's just what it's called.
Holiday sauce. I'll go for it.
Huh, this recipe I see isn't actually calling for any mayo, but I swear there was mayo in it.
So they were just doing their own thing. This seems right. It wasn't good.
It's Japan doing Japan. Yeah, it literally just calls for 4 egg yolks, tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice, or you could just buy lemon juice, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Who's really gonna know the difference? Half cup unsalted butter melted, a pinch of cayenne, and a pinch of salt. That's literally it.
What the heck was that restaurant doing? I want my money back. I was so disappointed, man. It happens a lot though in Japan. You think you're gonna get something like from home, and nope.
What? So what's something that like is probably your least favorite thing to have in Japan for food?
That's a whole other thing I could hop into too. I don't like expensive Japanese food, like the traditional seafood, super expensive stuff. I hate that. But when it comes to things that like I think I see something from home and I try it and it's completely different, is like lemon poppy seed muffins. Those are my favorite muffins. Whenever I see something that looks like that here in Japan, they're not lemon poppy seed, they're Earl Grey with poppy seeds. And I always get tricked and I'm always sad.
Earl Grey poppy seeds.
Yes, it's not lemon poppy seed, it's Earl Grey. And I always bite into it and I'm instantly just sad. Because I really enjoy those. Another thing is, when I first came here, I see Denny's in Japan. Like, heck yes, I can get my eggs Benedict, right? No. They serve like weird like hamburger steaks and just like weird steak and just curry, and it's called a family restaurant, but it's not breakfast food. It's not cheap, dirty breakfast food. It's different and it makes me sad.
It's not dirty, greasy breakfast food that you can get at 3 a.m. while off of some ketamine and all that other stuff.
No. Those are just a few examples.
All right. And also something that I saw while I was scrolling, how real is the Yakuza?
Oh, very real. Yeah.
Do they just like do they run Japan?
No. Their power has been waning over the past 20 years, but there's certain districts you can go to where basically I'm pretty sure they control like all the buildings and businesses around there.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, I mean, they deal with drugs, they deal with all the crazy stuff in the black market. But in general, as long as you don't get loans from them and you don't deal with them, they will not ever inconvenience you, if it makes sense.
Have you had an interaction with anyone in the Yakuza? or
I've
or I or
only
or I guess
seen a
anyone
person.
that's like that's like had an interaction with them that they kind of just like, I guess in this case, fucked around and found out.
I don't know anyone that's had bad experience. I've only heard like third hand stories, but
Hmm.
I know me personally, I've only seen one at a gym I used to go to because tattoos are technically not allowed in most gyms or like onsen in Japan. That's a whole other thing because Yakuza have full body tattoos. They have like
Okay.
it cuts off right here at the wrist and it cuts off at their ankles and it cuts off right here. But if you like pull it back right here, they'd have just full tattoos. And it
Okay.
goes everywhere, like even their butt cheeks. That's basically I'm trying to say I saw a naked Yakuza dude at the changing room in a gym.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. Because like I said, it's whole body. But you know, he was just doing his thing. Um had another friend who said like he hung out with them a bit as like because he was really young still. He's like 16, and they taught him as like a little brother.
Hmm.
But he didn't really get into that world. He's kind of pieced out eventually, and nothing happened to him. But generally, do not mess with them. Don't try to become friends with them because it's risky.
Yeah, I've heard like a little bit of like the Yakuza games or whatever. I don't know like how like accurate of a depiction it is to how they are in Japan, but have you
I
played any of them?
I want to play eventually on stream down the road.
Yeah, I know someone who would 100% like be there all the time is Flora. I had her on stream or on this podcast before, and she's like one of the main people that runs Epilogue Gaming for the most part.
Oh, okay, nice,
Uh
nice.
and she is a huge Yakuza fan. Like literally, if you're in like Discord or if you look at the EG Discords like general on like Fridays or something like that, they're always
Mm.
posting the one meme of two of the characters like dancing or whatever. That is from the Yakuza game.
Oh my gosh, I need to play one day. It looks like so much fun. I have watched bits and clips, and it just looks amazing.
Hmm.
But I don't know how much it relates to the actual real Yakuza.
Yeah, all I know is that I've heard that there's serious moments, but there's enough goofiness to it that makes it really funny.
Yeah,
All right.
one
So
day.
we have been live or live, not live, definitely not live, not this time. We've been going for about an hour and a half or so. So I want to wrap things up. I'm getting tired. I need to go to bed. I work in the morning.
Sorry, man.
So you don't gotta apologize. My dumbass agreed to it. Okay.
Perfect. No responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. What's this thing called responsibility? I've never heard of this.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, thank you, Waffle, for hopping onto the podcast. Uh thank you everyone for watching, and just give yourself like a quick shout out where they can find you, all that other stuff. I don't even know if you have Twitter. I tried looking for WaffleSmacker on Twitter, and I don't think it even showed you. So
Some person out there stole the handle. I don't own the WaffleSmacker handle. But anyway, yeah. So you can find me on twitch.tv/WaffleSmacker. I stream every day starting at 9 p.m. Japan time, which is very early for a lot of people. And I do Kaizo Ironman still, and I'm starting to work my way into Mario Maker and eventually Super Mario World Hacks. And I started recently creating a bit more YouTube short content. If you want to check that out, it would really help me out. But yeah, mainly I'm on Twitch.
all right, and for anyone who has watched to the end, you guys should hit the follow button, subscribe if you guys want more. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you guys are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else, give it 5-star rating. I don't think you can actually do anything on iHeartRadio, but if you figure it out, go just do it. And if you guys want to talk about the podcast more, you guys can just words and dry throat. If you guys want to talk about the podcast on Twitter, go ahead and use the hashtag the Sinterview. And you guys can check me out at Sinterview on every social media platform: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Pornhub, OnlyFans. Just search for Sinterview. It's the most social platform thing. Literally, it's most likely me. But yeah, I see you laughing. It's probably.
I'm very interested in the OnlyFans, but
I mean, if you go to onlyfans.com/SynXRealize, it's me.
all right, I'll be checking that now.
Like I have the handle, but I've done nothing with it. That's literally it. I was like,
Okay.
I just want the handle because it's a funny meme every New Year's. I just drop the link and that's it.
Not even feet pics, man. Come on.
No, absolutely not. But the Pornhub thing, it was a real thing for a little bit. I was uploading over there. I was just uploading like actual just like gameplay videos.
There you go.
It was great. I was also I was partnered on there, and then they shot it. That's a whole different story for a different day. I'm ending this podcast. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next month. Bye bye.
Yeah.